hasn't been available for, his second interview till now. The Broncos season just ended. So he's an interesting candidate for them, a very young coaching prospect, just turned 31, was a player as recently as 3 years ago. You see here, they've also talked to Brian Daboll. They've talked twice to Joe Brady. So those are three of the stronger candidates right now as we head toward a decision. Interesting, it's a similar list to what Buffalo's got. They talked to Davis Webb yesterday morning, and he's a candidate there. And that last night they had a virtual interview with Nate Scheelhaase, who is the Rams passing game coordinator, another very young coach who's in the mix in Cleveland as well. Bills also have talked to Brian Daboll. They've also talked to Joe Brady. Davis Webb, Brian Daboll, Joe Brady are all people who have worked with and have good relationships with Bills quarterback Josh Allen. So maybe watch for one of those guys.
Let's keep our eyes on that. Keep your eyes on these two beauties. Coming up, top of the hour on Get Up. Thank you both. Saturday.
Speaking of coaching news, coming up on the next Sports Center, which is at 2 p.m. right here on ESPN. We go to Pittsburgh as Mike McCarthy introduced as the Steelers' new head man. And Sports Center with Jay Harris and Amina Smith, 2 Eastern, right here on ESPN.
Today, or if all of the four happened today. But who's next? My best guess is Cleveland.
Interesting. So let's talk about the Bills. You just brought them up. I believe, Graz, almost all of the coaches. You have breaking news?
Nope.
Oh. All of the coaches.
But I had to check.
He's so excited.
Oh. Yeah, so I had to check in case.
It was probably Nuno saying, can you move to your left?
Nuno texts me exactly once a week, asks me if I'm okay to do a certain time on Tuesday, and I say yes. If you look at my text history with Nuno, that's all it is. That's the whole thing.
And you just respond yes every time?
Is 7:15 good? Yep. And then he thumbs ups that text, and then I hear from him again next Monday.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
So there's no pleasantries. There's no, hey, I read your story. That was
no,
good.
No, nothing.
We're not trying to build a relationship.
He knows nothing of my work other than this 5-10 minutes every Tuesday morning.
I love that.
Okay, now to Buffalo. I believe that all of the coaches that have been hired should be hired this cycle so far. I just believe a lot of them are on the wrong teams. No, seriously.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why is Buffalo not hiring a win-now coach? Or not looking, to our knowledge, at a win-now coach?
I don't. That's a good question. I mean, what do you mean? Like, should they have hired John Harbaugh? He was already hired by the time they fired their coach.
Right. So Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy, yes.
Okay. Would be a guy that theoretically would come in and say, low end, I'll give you 12. High end, I'll give you 14. I'll give you a playoff win. And Josh, if you can navigate the other few games for me, we should be good to go.
Whereas if you hire Davis Webb for his first coaching job 3 years after he stopped playing, it's a major risk with a team that's right on the cusp. It's a good question. I think when you look at Davis Webb, Brian Daboll, Joe Brady, who are three of their strong candidates right now, they all have very close relationships with Josh Allen. And it seems like Buffalo is making that some kind of priority here. Whether that's the right thing to do is certainly worth having a discussion about, but I think that's a very good point. Does Buffalo feel like Pittsburgh? I don't want to speak for Pittsburgh fans, but my guess is the way that's gone over in Pittsburgh is like, this is just sort of a safe play and not very inspirational.
Yeah, they call it Tomlin 2.0. They're not pleased at all.
Right. So, maybe Buffalo doesn't want to be in that situation. Maybe they're like, well, Sean McDermott gave us competence, gave us, like we're in the divisional round of the playoffs every single year. We want something that will elevate us, so maybe we do need to throw a little bit of a Hail Mary. I mean, that may be part of their thinking, but it does seem the search has been very Josh Allen-centric so far.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had something else on that.
I was just going to say, to me, let's just use Davis Webb. He may go down as the greatest coach in the history of the NFL for all I know.
Sure.
It's just not going to be next year.
Right.
And to me, next year is the last year, is how you have to look at it, of Josh Allen. It's not actual. No, it's not actually. You're running out of time with this group as it's built. If you think this group is Super Bowl worthy, this group is not this group 2 years from now.
Right.
So you have to do it next year. And Davis Webb would then have, as an example, would have to have the single greatest first-year coaching job in the history of the sport.
In his fourth year as a coach, period.
Yeah.
Not a head coach, but yeah.
And I look at this as a negative, best of friends with the quarterback.
Right. So, yes. I mean, look, a week ago, we were talking about Sean McDermott just got fired. Like, What you want when you hire a head coach is Vrabel. You want a guy that has the building, that know. Yes, he's good at managing the game, but he's also good at running practice and setting the tone for the entire organization. There aren't 32 of those guys, right? So the Bills had one, and they fired him. So that's my point. Is like, are you going to go for that again? If you already had Sean McDermott in the building, who can do all those things, proven over 9 years. Had you in the playoffs 8 out of 9 years, when you didn't go for 17 before he got there. So are they trying to do something different, or are they in a position where they don't know what they're doing because maybe the owner got upset and fired a guy without thinking about it too hard? So I think it's a very interesting search that we really didn't see coming, and has been hampered a little bit by the fact that they started late. And I'm fascinated to see where it lands. Well,
speaking of giving up on people, Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl.
Sure is.
Which team that had him in the building should regret letting him go the most?
I mean, Minnesota, obviously, given the way the year went. And I understand, like, it's hindsight, they had a plan and they stuck to it, which, we often give organizations a hard time for not doing that. But it didn't work out. So, yeah, when you look at how he played in Seattle, it's obvious last year wasn't a fluke. And I think it's fair to say the 2025 Minnesota Vikings would have been a better team with Sam Darnold at quarterback than they were with what they had. I don't think that's like a hot take.
No.
The Jets had him, Carolina had him, San Francisco had him as a backup, but they're fine. I think Minnesota's got to be the answer, even though it seems like the easy one.
Smalls has been asking that question today, Dan. And we're talking with Dan Graziano, ESPN NFL reporter here on Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance. And I have to own the fact that I would have made the exact same decision that every one of the teams that let him go made.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we were talking for Get Up, like, did he prove his critics wrong? Like, well, no. I mean, like, the first 5 years of his career were bad. The last couple games of last year were bad. Like, those criticisms are correct. Yeah. Now, if the critics were saying, "Oh, you can never get to a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold," then yes, he proved them wrong.
And I said that.
Right? But I mean, it's not wrong to assess his time with the Jets and Carolina and say that it didn't live. I mean, he was picked third. Like, it obviously didn't live up to that. So he goes to San Francisco for a year, sort of rehabilitates under Kyle Shanahan and that staff as a backup. And then now we see these last 2 years with the 14-3 Vikings and the 14-3 Seahawks who were in the Super Bowl. So it's a story of persistence and continued development. And it's a story of how important it is to have the right people around you if you want to succeed.
Early look at the Super Bowl, Dan. What X factors are you paying attention to in this matchup?
I just don't know if we really know, and Patriots fans get mad. Like, do we really know how good they are? Like the three teams they've beaten had in the playoffs had nothing at all on offense. How much of that is because of the Patriots defense, and how much of that is because, the Chargers didn't have tackles and C.J. Stroud had a meltdown and Bo Nix broke his ankle. Like we just don't know. So could I see the Patriots defense stifling that Seahawks offense? And we look at it and say, like, yeah, they won that Super Bowl with defense, even though they didn't play particularly well on offense throughout the whole run. Sure. But I also could see Seattle, kicking their butts. I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility, because I think Seattle offers a lot more on offense than anyone else they've faced so far in the playoffs.
As a Patriots fan, I can tell you what they're elite at from my perspective, and that's their brain. They're just smart. They just know what to do situationally, and that makes up some of the physical differences that they may have with other teams.
But before the Texans game, I was talking to some Texans players, and one of them said, like, the Patriots' run game is so good because, the talent of the backs are explosive, but they will wait and wait and wait until you make a mistake, and then they'll run right through it. Like that is... You can go till the fourth quarter and play perfect, and then miss one assignment, and it's a 52-yard touchdown run, because they're that patient and they're that disciplined. That reflects coaching, and that gets back to what we were saying about Vrabel. What he's instituted there in a short period of time, they are almost certainly not going to lose the game because they did something dumb.
Good for next Tuesday?
I don't know. We'll wait and see. Nuno's going to have to reach out on Monday and see.
Get a big thumbs up.
We're not on next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not?
Somebody
We're flying
will be.
to San Francisco.
I am too, but I may stop here first and do some shows.
Wow.
I mean, come on.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
Well, I'll miss you guys. I guess I'll see you in Radio Row or whatever.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Pop
Thumbs
by.
up. We'll
love
see.
to see
Yeah, 3:30 in the morning. Come on by.
Yeah, we're live 37, Dan.
Dan Graziano, you'll see him on Get Up at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Coming up, why someone on this show feels badly for a Pro Bowler. Next on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
The NFL on
for Overreaction Tuesday with Dan Graziano and Jeff Saturday.
And all the talent they need to win the NFL. Someday I'll get you to understand how important center and guard play is.
They're not winning in a fun way. It's a minor miracle. You and I agree, Dan.
This has already become my favorite segment that we do on SportsCenter.
Oh, it is time. You know what? That might have been an overreaction from Gary. This is your favorite segment that we have on SportsCenter.
Interesting.
I don't know, but Jeff Saturday, Dan Graziano are here. They're already arguing. It's time for another edition of Overreaction Tuesday. Start with you, Dan. Patriots going to another Super Bowl. This is the beginning of another Patriots dynasty. Is that an overreaction or not an overreaction?
The definition of an overreaction.
Oh.
They haven't even won this one yet. Like, come on. I mean, like, out of respect for the previous Patriots dynasty, we need to hold off on this kind of talk. This is a great run, especially by their defense. People are going to question the schedule they've played to get here, and I think that's fair. They have an opportunity to prove everybody wrong on that by beating an excellent Seahawks team here in a couple of weeks. But yeah, let's let them put one or two in the bank here before we start talking about Vrabel and May as the next Belichick and Brady.
Yeah, I fully agree with Dan on this. This is a massive overreaction. As you're looking at this thing, I mean, first of all, I was painfully part of the last dynasty, so I'm not crowning this one quite yet either. But I'm gonna take my time on it. Let's put some Super Bowl, let's get some trophies back in there. I mean, from my perspective, it's been a great run, irrespective of their schedule and all that kind of thing. What they've done, what Vrabel's done and may have done has been spectacular. But you got to at least get one before we start calling it a dynasty again. I know Gary wants to, go ahead and crown them, but we can't crown them quite yet, Gary.
Well, listen, all I'm saying is get some trophies, and you saw Drake May with the AFC Championship trophy. All right, so
that's odd trophy. That's odd trophy.
That's odd trophy, and if they want to lift the Lombardi, they have to get through Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. So, Dan, even though Sam Darnold signed that 3-year, $100 million deal earlier in 2025, he is about to get a massive pay raise. Overreaction or not?
I think it's an overreaction, and the reason is, look at what Seattle did with Darnold. Instead of overpaying to keep Geno Smith, they moved on. They found Darnold for $33.5 million a year, which makes him, I believe, the 18th highest paid quarterback in the league. And they are able to build and maintain a championship caliber roster around him. That is Seattle's philosophy on quarterback. I think they're going to be perfectly happy to pay Sam Darnold $27.5 million next year, according to the contract he signed. And I think if he were to, and I'm not saying he will, if he were to dig in and demand a big raise, I think Seattle has shown us that they would probably trade him and find some other option.
Yeah, I agree with this as well. This is an overreaction to me as well. This is, give John Schneider a ton of credit. Like they went from the Legion of Boom and a great defense, went through kind of a downturn a little bit, and they figured this thing out again. They got a fantastic defense, a fantastic roster. They're building good offensive line play. They're trying to put, they're putting receivers around. They've given him everything he needs to win and be successful. I think Dan's exactly right here. They understand their formula of winning. They've executed it perfectly. And guess what? Darnold has a strong chance of hoisting a Lombardi trophy. That's it. There's a ton to that. The money will take care of itself in the future. Let's handle business right now.
Okay, so you're saying the beginning of a Seahawks dynasty. I get it. I'm reading between the lines. No, let's get back to Dan for a second. We want to run through some coaching news in the NFL. Dan, the Raiders have the #1 overall pick. Still don't have a head coach. What's the latest there?
The latest is they spent last night talking to Davis Webb, who is the Broncos quarterbacks coach.